Live from New Delhi, you're watching DT India NewsHour, India's voice to the world. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj. Coming up in the next hour, Delhi gets its first Namo Bharat connectivity with the inauguration of 13-kilometer stretch of Delhi-Ghaziabad-Meerut corridor. India's Health Ministry responds to reports of HMPV outbreak in China. Says India is well prepared to handle respiratory illnesses. At least 8 Pakistani security personnel killed in Balochistan bomb blast. Baloch Liberation Army claims responsibility. Austria's Chancellor Karl Nehammer to step down after talks on forming a new government fail. In Sydney, Australia beat India by 6 wickets to reclaim Border Gavaskar Trophy, also secure World Test Championship final spot. In a significant boost to regional connectivity, Prime Minister Narendra Modi today inaugurated the much-awaited Namo Bharat rapid rail between Delhi and Meerut. The Prime Minister flagged off the newly operational leg from Sahibabad in Uttar Pradesh to New Ashok Nagar in Delhi, marking the beginning of an era of high-speed and efficient travel between the two cities. Take a look at this report by my colleague Dibyendu Mondal.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi boarded the Namo Bharat rapid rail at Sahibabad station, symbolizing the launch of the new 13-kilometer stretch between Sahibabad and New Ashok Nagar in Delhi. This new addition to the Delhi-Meerut corridor is set to transform travel, bringing the national capital region closer than ever. During his journey on the state-of-the-art train, the Prime Minister also interacted with passengers, especially children, sharing smiles and conversations, making the journey memorable for all on board. With today's inauguration, the operational stretch of the Namo Bharat corridor now spans 55 kilometers, covering a total of 11 stations. The corridor's current stretch from Sahibabad to Meerut South is already functional, and the new addition links Delhi's New Ashok Nagar to Meerut, further improving connectivity for thousands of daily commuters. The highlight of the new section is the rapid journey time. Traveling from New Ashok Nagar to Meerut South will now take less than 40 minutes, reducing the usual travel time by a third. The Namo Bharat trains will operate every 15 minutes with fares from New Ashok Nagar to Meerut South set at Rs 150. Namo Bharat trains have already served over 50 lakh commuters, underscoring the project's impact in easing travel and cutting down commute times. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision of a seamlessly connected India is now one step closer, with Namo Bharat being a key part of the future of urban mobility. Dibyendu Mondal's report for DD India.
And DD India correspondent Dibyendu Mondal is joining us live from newsroom. Hi Dibyendu, a very good evening to you. We just saw a very well explained report. Tell us more about Namo Bharat rapid rail, between Delhi and Meerut, and which PM Modi inaugurated today, and how this has made the life of commuters really easy, Dibyendu. And also for our viewers, tell us, some other things like the ticket price.
Well, Siddharth, that's right. Today, this morning, the Prime Minister inaugurated the 13-kilometer long stretch between New Ashok Nagar and Sahibabad, finally connecting New Delhi to Meerut and reducing the journey time from almost 2 hours that it generally takes by road to almost 40 minutes by this particular train. High-speed rapid rail train is what this train is being termed as. Of course, much part of it was already functioning over the last couple of months, and now that New Delhi has been connected, and people, in fact, traveling from Delhi to Meerut would now be reaching their respective homes in Uttar Pradesh in less than 40 minutes. Of course, this will transform how both the cities, which Meerut is now developed into a satellite town of the national capital regions. Of course, how this town comes much closer to Delhi, and how people between these two, in fact, these two towns would now be able to travel in much lesser time, would be facilitated through this train. And of course, about the ticket prices, it is much cheaper to travel in this state-of-the-art, air-conditioned coach, which is being provided in this rapid rail connectivity with just a meager rupees 150 for one journey from Delhi to Meerut. And if you opt, if a passenger wishes to opt for, the premium service, it will cost them about 220 rupees per journey, which is one-way journey. So, of course, it's much cheaper travel, much faster, of course, connecting. And also, Siddharth, the two stations in Delhi, which is the Ashok Nagar and Anand Vihar, is interestingly important also because of the fact that Anand Vihar station connects with the other multimodal transport facilities around, which include the railway station as well as the interstate bus terminal at Anand Vihar. And also it is conjoined with the metro station at Anand Vihar, giving an ease and comfort and seamless connectivity for all commuters coming from different parts of different states and merging into Delhi and further connecting it to the state of Uttar Pradesh.
Definitely, Dibendu, prices are kept in such a manner that everyone could afford it, and also the travel time, which is very important. We had it's around like 40 minutes, but very nice, this rail network. Also talking about it, Dibendu, it's very impressive, like I was just saying, how India's metro rail network has created waves over the years. Like the way it has expanded over the years. Around 1,000 kilometer metro rail lines are operational in India now. And India now ranks third globally in terms of operational metro network length. Tell us something about India's metro rail network, a bit.
Well, Siddharth, of course, just today it was announced that India is now connected with over 1,000 kilometers of metro rail connectivity. This is one of the third largest in the world. And of course, if you just take into account the state of Delhi, you will see the web of metro rail network and how well connected it is. But also, people might say that it is the national capital. But moving away from the national capital, if you go to, for that matter, Bombay, Lucknow, even to tier 2 cities like Lucknow, if you go to, the other parts of the country where, in fact, Jaipur as well, which is a tier 2 city, even these cities are connected by metro networks. Of course, spreading the web of metro, giving a seamless connectivity and in fact a safe connectivity to the people of this country has been a priority of the government, and that of course that is being undertaken, and many more metro rail projects are under construction at the moment as we speak. There are many projects coming up in Lucknow, in Jaipur, in Mumbai, in Kolkata. Multiple metro projects are of course underway in all these cities. In Bangalore also, not to forget Bangalore, which is becoming a tech in fact has grown into a tech city, also talking of Hyderabad. So all these major cities are being connected with the metro network, giving a push to the citizens of these particular cities, in fact a seamless travel option as well as a safe travel option for all the people staying in these cities, making travel more faster, convenient, seamless as well as more cheaper. And of course, not to forget, Siddharth, making it more eco-friendly and environment-friendly, because metro is one of the least polluting mode of transportation.
All right, thank you so much. We leave with that, Dibendu. Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed a public gathering in Delhi's Rohini on Sunday. He took a dig at the Delhi government for falsely accusing the central government of not allowing them to work properly.
दिल्ली पर आपदा लाने वाले ये झूठा आरोप लगाते हैं कि केंद्र सरकार उन्हें काम नहीं करने देती, केंद्र सरकार उन्हें पैसे नहीं देती। ये कितने बड़े झूठे हैं, इसका उदाहरण इनका शीश महल है। आज ही एक बड़े अखबार ने सीएजी रिपोर्ट के आधार पर शीश महल पर हुए खर्च का खुलासा किया है। और साथियों, आपको ये जान करके पीड़ा होगी, दर्द होगा। अरे पूरे देश के लोग चौंक जाएंगे जब दिल्ली के लोग कोरोना से जूझ रहे थे, जब दिल्ली के लोग ऑक्सीजन और दवाओं के लिए भटक रहे थे, तब इन लोगों का पूरा फोकस अपना शीश महल बनवाने में था। इन्होंने शीश महल का भारी भरकम बजट बनाया।
The Ahmedabad International Flower Show 2025 has begun at UNESCO World Heritage City of Ahmedabad in state of Gujarat. This world-class flower show showcases a harmonious fusion of Indian culture with natural beauty. Here's more.
People in large numbers are visiting the International Flower Show in Ahmedabad. Started in 2013 by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who was then the Chief Minister of Gujarat, this show has seen great popularity over the years. Organized at the Sabarmati riverfront, this show is an annual celebration of colors, offering a blend of visual splendor and exquisite flower displays. This show also gives out the message of sustainability.
Every year I visit, but this time I've heard it's really going to be something very extraordinary, and they have been planning since before Diwali. So I am expecting a lot, and I think it's going to be very nice. Today is just the second day.
You get to see so many varieties of beautiful flowers meant just for the winter season, and we are expecting a spectacular show.
It's a very beautiful experience and a glorious arrangement here.
This is our first time at the Ahmedabad Flower Show, and it's been a wonderful experience.
The scale of the event, the kind of flowers that they have put in, the kind of sculptures they have built, it just shows that they have put in a lot of efforts.
In 2024, the flower show attracted nearly 20 lakh visitors and also earned a Guinness World Record for its 400-meter-long flower wall. The show has been divided into 6 zones, featuring over 10 lakh flowers, more than 50 species, and over 30 sculptures. Symbolic statues showcasing India's economic progress, 23 years of governance, inclusiveness and sustainability, unity and diversity, hosting the Olympics 2036, Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam, and many more installations depicting India's culture and development have been put up at the show. Use of technology has enabled visitors to make use of specially designed audio guides to learn more about the flowers, sculptures, and zones by scanning QR codes available throughout the flower show.
Here we had some visitors speak to us about their experience at the International Flower Show in the state of Gujarat, in the city of Ahmedabad. This will go on till the 22nd of January, and what will be at display is India's vibrant culture, heritage, and what India's growth journey has been. With my colleague Krishna Shah, this is Meghna Dev for DD India from Ahmedabad, Gujarat.
Assam has seen a record 2.3 lakh visitors in 2024-25 tourism season, including 7,600 international tourists. By December 2024, the park earned 5.9 crore, with 2 crore generated in December alone from 80,000 visitors. The park, famous for its one-horned rhinos, has also attracted tourists with sightings of tigers. Meanwhile, Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma, in a post on X, credited Prime Minister Narendra Modi for the surge in tourist visits to Kaziranga National Park. He highlighted that the Prime Minister's overnight stay at the park and his call for people to visit have led to a record-breaking footfall of 1.6 lakh tourists in the past 3 months, the highest in 20 years. And still to come on DD India NewsHour. We'll tell you the weather updates from some parts of the country. The Indian Navy's stealth frigate INS Seychelles arrived in Senegal's Dakar. Indian Coast Guard advanced light helicopter Dhruv crashed in Porbandar, Gujarat. Stay tuned to know more details.
Complex issues, hidden agendas, twists and turns, strategic games. We think all dots are linked. We just need to connect them. Join me every week as I connect the dots to unravel hidden designs in statecraft, mysteries, and decode issues that matter to you. Watch Connecting the Dots with me at these times on DD India.
You're watching DD India NewsHour. I'm Sanjay Bharat. While many countries are facing bone-chilling cold, Southeast Australia, on the other part of the globe, sweated in a heat wave that intensified on Sunday. The scorching heat wave elevated bushfire risk and prompting authorities to issue fire bans for more parts of Victoria State. Australia is in the grips of a high-risk bushfire season, with firefighters last week battling a large blaze that ripped through Victoria's Grampians National Park, razing homes and farmland. The nation's weather forecaster warned that temperature could reach 45 degrees Celsius in some parts of Australia's second most populous state of Victoria on Sunday. The mercury state capital Melbourne was forecast to hit 38 degrees Celsius. The states of Western Australia, New South Wales and Tasmania were also under heatwave warnings on Sunday. Australia's last few fire seasons have been quiet compared with the catastrophic 2019-2020 Black Summer of wildfires that destroyed an area size of Turkey, killing 33 people and billions of animals. Russia has declared a regional state of emergency on Saturday in Crimea as workers cleared tons of contaminated sand and earth on either side of the Kerch Strait following an oil spill in the Black Sea last month. The Kerch Strait runs between the Black Sea and the Sea of Azov and separates Crimea's Kerch Peninsula from Russia's Krasnodar region. Rescue workers have so far cleared more than 86,000 metric tons of contaminated sand and soil. The oil leaked from two aging tankers that were hit by a storm on December 15. One sank and the other ran aground. More than 10,000 people have been working and shovel up viscous, foul-smelling fuel oil from sandy beaches in and around Napa, a summer resort. Environmental groups have reported deaths of dolphins, porpoises and seabirds. On to weather news now. The India Meteorological Department has forecast light to moderate rainfall and snowfall over Jammu, Kashmir, Ladakh and Himachal Pradesh today. Scattered rainfall or snowfall is also expected over Uttarakhand tomorrow. For higher reaches of Kashmir is under red alert till Monday. The IMD has also predicted isolated rainfall accompanied with thunderstorms over Punjab, Haryana, Chandigarh and northwest Uttar Pradesh in the coming 2 days. The Indian Weather Agency also predicted a gradual rise in minimum temperatures by 2 to 3 degrees Celsius over northwest India over the next 3 days. It also said that there will be no significant change in minimum temperatures over central and east India during the next 3 days. In other news, French Navy aircraft carrier Charles de Gaulle arrived at Western India's Mormugao port, Trust Jetty in Goa on Saturday. The French carrier strike group, which includes the Rafale Marine fighter aircraft, will take part in the 42nd annual bilateral exercise Varun with Indian Navy ships. The purpose of the visit was to enhance interoperability, foster mutual understanding and strengthen ties between the navies of India and France. France and India regularly cooperate to contribute to maritime safety in the Indian Ocean region. Since 2008, France has been a member of Indian Ocean Naval Symposium, which was initiated by India and brings together 25 navies. The aim of this forum is to increase collective effectiveness in tackling a range of maritime issues, including illegal trafficking, illegal fishing, search and rescue at sea, and pollution. India's Health Ministry on Saturday convened a joint monitoring group meeting in view of HMPV outbreak causing rising cases of respiratory illnesses in China in the past few weeks. The ministry said it is closely monitoring the situation in China through all available channels, and the World Health Organization has also been requested to share timely updates regarding the situation in China. The ministry further said that India is well prepared to handle respiratory illnesses and surveillance shows no unusual surge. It said the health systems and surveillance networks remain vigilant, ensuring the country is ready to respond promptly to any emerging health challenges. In a significant milestone in space exploration endeavours, the Indian Space Research Organisation has successfully demonstrated its first robotic arm in space. Sharing a video, ISRO posted on X. RRM-TD, India's first space robotic arm, is in action on board POEM-4, a proud Make in India milestone in space robotics. RRM-TD was launched on PSLV C-60 alongside the SpaceX mission as one of the non-separating payloads on board POEM-4. It can be considered as an ancestor of the type of robotic arms that will be used on India's planned space station, the Bharatiya Antariksha Station. The success of this demonstration validates ISRO's technology and will allow ISRO to move forward with the development of more advanced versions of this for use on BAS. With this achievement, ISRO becomes the 5th space agency to operate a robotic arm in space. Prayagraj is India's northern state of Uttar Pradesh, is ready to welcome devotees and pilgrims to the Maha Kumbh Mela from January 13 to February 26. Maha Kumbh is one of Hinduism's most significant and holy events held once every 12 years. It's the world's largest spiritual congregation, drawing millions of devotees from across the globe. The Maha Kumbh is considered an auspicious period for spiritual cleansing and devotion. Pilgrims flock to the renowned Sangam, which is the confluence of Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati rivers, to take the holy dip. All preparations are in place by the government to ensure a divine and secure experience at Maha Kumbh 2025. The Indian Navy's stealth frigate INS Itoale arrived in Senegal's Dakar on Friday as part of its ongoing deployment. The visit aims to strengthen ties between India and Senegal with engagements involving senior military and government officials, as well as showcasing India's advanced weapons and equipment. The ship will conduct training, host yoga sessions and promote Indian culture through social interactions. The visit will culminate in a passage exercise PASSIX and joint patrol with the Senegalese Navy to enhance maritime cooperation and regional security. Let's take a look at other stories making news. An Indian Coast Guard advanced light helicopter Dhruv crashed in Porbandar, Gujarat during a routine training sortie. The incident occurred at the Coast Guard Air Enclave in Porbandar. As part of the Cochin Carnival celebrations, over 2,000 people participated in a marathon organized by the Indian Coast Guard in Kerala's Kochi on Sunday. The event aimed to promote awareness about coastal security and encourage community participation. Indian Railways will operate 13,000 trains during Maha Kumbh Mela to cater to the massive influx of pilgrims. These include 10,000 regular trains and 3,000 special trains. These trains will be run over 50 days, including 2 to 3 additional days before and after the event. The railways have planned to keep the movement of people unidirectional to prevent chaos and congestion. Passengers will be directed to the Yatri Kendra before proceeding to their respective platforms, reducing confusion and congestion. The Indian Railways successfully conducted the first trial run on the Katra-Banihal section ahead of the final statutory safety inspection next week to determine the commencement of rail services to Kashmir. The first trade run thrilled passengers as it traversed snow-covered mountains, blending nature's splendor with engineering excellence. The Indian Navy presented a spectacular display of its prowess and valor at Ramakrishna Beach in the port city of Visakhapatnam in Andhra Pradesh on Saturday. The coastline buzzed with fighter jets, warships, helicopters and tankers. The rescue operations, including combat demonstrations to save hostages from terrorists and rescuing people stranded at sea with the help of helicopters, fascinated the visitors. Paratroopers also amazed the spectators by unfurling the Indian flag and the Navy flag from a height of approximately 8,000 feet. Nestled close to Guwahati, the gateway of northeast India, lies a serene lake surrounded by rolling hills, lush greenery and the rich tribal cultural heritage of Assam, Chandubi Lake. Every year, this picturesque location transforms into a vibrant center of celebration during the much-awaited Chandubi festival. A report by our DD India correspondent Momita Biswas.
So currently we are at a majestic place of Assam, which is just 30 kilometers away from the city Guwahati, that is Chandubi. And we are here to show you a beautiful festival which is named after the place Chandubi.
Chandubi Lake is a serene and scenic freshwater lake located in the Kamrup district of Assam and is approximately 35 kilometers from Guwahati. It is nestled at the foothills of the Garo Hills, where tribals from different communities come together and celebrate the Chandubi festival.
बिल के आसपास में जो जनगोष्ठियाँ हैं, राभा हैं, बोरो हैं, आदिवासी हैं, गारो लोग हैं, थोड़ा अदर कास्ट भी हैं, तो इसका जो कल्चर है उसको बचाना है, उसको डेवलप करना है, अपलिफ्ट करना है, तो इसीलिए हम चांदुबी फेस्टिवल का आयोजन किया था। यहाँ एग्जीबिशन भी है हमारा, जो लोकली प्रोडक्ट करते हैं, जो लोग बनाते हैं, बम्बो के कपड़ के मगरा बनाते हैं, उसमें एग्जीबिशन कम सेल होते हैं। तो हम चाहते हैं कि असम के सारे लोग यहाँ आए और हमारा फेस्टिवल एंजॉय कीजिए।
The festival, which starts every year from the 1st of January, celebrates the natural beauty, local traditions and heritage of the area. As the sun sets over the lake, the air fills with the sounds of traditional Assamese music, which showcases Assamese and tribal folk dance, traditional music, local handicrafts and local cuisines. The lake, with its crystal clear water and abundant wildlife, offers the perfect backdrop for boating and exploration. It is here that people come to connect with nature, to reflect and to inspire.
I'm from basically Sipsagar. It is a very good and wonderful experience. Yeah, that the nature is very beautiful, and that water lily was very good. People who say meet over here, this is very good.
The peaceful ambience and the cultural significance of Chandubi make it a must-visit destination for nature lovers and adventure seekers.
Whether we are boating in the lake or participating in the festival or just having some scenic beauty, Chandubi festival has many things to offer. And when a festival like this, where different tribal communities come together, attracts more tourists towards this beautiful destination. With camera person Pankaj, this is Momita Biswas for DD India.
And still to come on DD India NewsHour. Residents of Moldova's breakaway Transnistria region face escalating power cuts. A bluefin tuna sold for $1,316,835. Stay tuned to know the entire story. Hundreds of people took part in a parade for the Blacks and Whites Carnival in Pasto, Colombia.
The delicate balance between human and animal coexistence has become a growing problem. Finding sustainable ways to coexisting together and thriving in a rapidly changing environment.
Tell them not to panic. Instead, they should just stand completely still and let the lions walk past peacefully. This is how we show respect to the animal and in turn gain its trust.
After the plantation of lemon trees, the elephants stopped entering the fields. They passed by the field boundaries without entering.
Poaching gangs and trafficking gangs that go after these elephants and capture them, things like that. And that's something that we are all up against.
We should try to modify the human behavior through education and awareness.
You're watching DD India NewsHour. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj, and a quick recap of headlines. Delhi gets its first Namo Bharat connectivity with the inauguration of 13-kilometer stretch of Delhi-Ghaziabad-Meerut corridor. At least 8 Pakistani security personnel killed in Balochistan bomb blast. Baloch Liberation Army claims responsibility. Austria's Chancellor Karl Nehammer to step down after talks on forming a new government fail. India and Bangladesh are likely to exchange 185 fishermen and their vessels detained in their respective countries today. Dhaka agreed to hand over 95 Indian fishermen to Indian authorities in a reciprocal repatriation process. India too agreed to release 90 Bangladeshi fishermen detained in India. Besides 2 Bangladeshi fishing vessels detained in India and 6 Indian fishing boats detained in Bangladesh will also be exchanged. Earlier on Thursday, Bangladesh authorities released the 95 Indian fishermen who were held in Bagherhat and Potuakhali district jails and handed over to the Bangladesh Coast Guards to carry out the repatriation process. The 95 Indian fishermen were in Bangladesh jails for more than 2 months. All right, and DD India correspondent Naval Singh Parmar is joining us live on phone from Dhaka. Naval Singh, India and Bangladesh likely to exchange 185 fishermen and their vessels detained in their respective countries today. What is the latest you're getting for us?
Today it is scheduled that the exchange or repatriation process of the fishermen at the International Maritime border in the Bay of Bengal. But the update regarding and when it will happen, that is not from the Bangladesh side here. And around 95 Indian fishermen already released from the district jails of Patuakhali and Bagherhat, and they are now in Bangladesh custody. Fishermen of Bangladesh who were captured in Indian water, and the 12 fishermen of Bangladesh whose boat capsized, the Coast Guard rescued. They are also now in the custody of.
All right, Naval Singh, we leave it there. I think there's some technical issue. We are trying to fix it. But as of now, Austria's Conservative Chancellor Karl Nehammer announced his resignation after coalition talks with the Social Democrats and Liberals collapsed on Saturday. Efforts to form a government without the far-right Freedom Party, which won September's election with 29% of the vote, fell apart amid deep divisions. Nehammer, who called FPO leader Herbert Kickl a conspiracy theorist, refused to partner with the party despite their shared stance on immigration. With no majority coalition possible, Austria faces 2 stark options: allow Kickl to attempt forming a government or call snap elections. The Conservative People's Party, meeting Sunday to choose Nehammer's successor, may now consider rekindling with ties with controversial FPO.
Following the breakdown of talks, I will act as following. I will step down as Federal Chancellor and also as a chairman of the People's Party in the next few days and facilitate an orderly transition. This orderly transition is particularly important to me because I have always stood for stability in our country and in People's Party.
US Secretary of State Antony Blinken is on a trip to South Korea, Japan and France. Blinken's trip is happening at a crucial time when South Korea is facing a political crisis. On Friday, South Korea's presidential guards and military troops prevented authorities from arresting impeached President Yoon, who is under criminal investigation for insurrection over his failed martial law bid. During his visit to South Korea, Secretary Blinken will meet with senior government officials to discuss ways to promote a free, open and prosperous Indo-Pacific region, as well as trilateral efforts with Japan. In France, the top US diplomat will discuss challenges in West Asia and Europe amid ongoing efforts to secure a ceasefire in Gaza. At least 8 security personnel were killed and 40 others injured in a suicide bomb blast in Balochistan province of Pakistan. The blast, which took place in the Dhang area of Turbat city on Saturday, targeted a passenger van and a police security vehicle adjacent to the van. Following the blast, police and security forces reached the incident site and cordoned off the area while the injured were moved to the nearest hospital. The separatist group Baloch Liberation Army has claimed responsibility for the attack. The latest attack is part of an ongoing series of attacks by the BLA in Balochistan, which have been targeting military convoys, security checkpoints and police vehicles. In South Korea, tens of thousands of protesters gathered in the capital Seoul to rally for and against arresting impeached President Yoon Suk-yeol. Despite heavy snow, protests took place on adjacent streets in the Hanam-dong neighborhood, close to Yoon's official presidential residence. Some protesters wrapped themselves in foil blankets to brave the cold. The demonstrations continued from Saturday, with similar rallies drawing large crowds. Meanwhile, investigators have again asked that the country's acting president to comply with the arrest warrant.
For last 1 week, impeached President Yoon Suk-yeol has been evading arrest after he declared martial law for a brief time. South Korean investigators again urged the country's acting president to order the Presidential Security Service to comply with an arrest warrant for Yoon. Corruption investigating officials said, and I quote, "It was virtually impossible to execute the arrest warrant due to the ongoing standoff." Meanwhile, die-hard supporters and opponents of impeached President Yeol rallied near the presidential residence.
What kind of situation is this country suffering right now? 8 years ago, they unjustly removed President Park Geun-hye, and now they are trying to remove President Yoon as well, based on absurd charges. There is no issue if the emergency martial law was declared by the head of state.
A month-long political meltdown has not only thrown Korean politics into turmoil, but surfaced the country's deep political polarization by dueling protest movements. Now take a look at what could happen next. The Corruption Investigation Office may attempt to execute the arrest warrant for Yoon again before the January 6 deadline. If Yoon is arrested before that date, the CIO will have 48 hours to either request a new warrant for his formal arrest or release him. But Yoon's lawyers have repeatedly said that the warrant issued by the court is unlawful and illegal. South Korea's constitutional court has up to 180 days to determine whether to dismiss Yoon as president or restore his powers. Bureau Report, DD India.
In a deepening energy crisis, residents of Moldova's breakaway Transnistria region face escalating power cuts after Russian gas flows through Ukraine halted on New Year's Day. The halt follows Kyiv's refusal to renew a transit deal with Russia, leaving Transnistria's thermal power plant without fuel to generate electricity. Without gas from Gazprom to fuel its thermal plant, Transnistria has extended rolling blackouts to 4 hours daily, leaving homes without heating as temperatures plunged to -10 degrees Celsius. Industries have shut down, sparing only food production as officials urge residents to conserve resources. Moldova, reliant on Transnistria's power plant for cheap electricity, blames Russia for the chaos, demanding gas rerouted through Turk Stream. Moscow, however, points fingers at Kiev for the impasse. Meanwhile, Transnistria's vital power supply to Moldova remains precariously disrupted. Russia claimed on Saturday to have intercepted 8 US-made missiles and downed 72 drones while capturing a settlement in Luhansk. The Russian Ministry of Defense also reported multiple strikes on Ukrainian military sites, resulting in over 540 casualties and the loss of 4 tanks for Ukraine. Meanwhile, Ukraine reported successfully repelling Russian attacks on Kharkiv, Pokrovsk and Kursk, with several clashes still ongoing. Ukrainian forces also fended off 9 Russian attacks in Kursk. In a significant development, US Secretary of State Antony Blinken revealed that the US had been supplying weapons to Ukraine since 2021, fueling tensions with Russia, which condemned NATO's military support. As Ukraine faces mounting challenges, Ukrainian Prime Minister Denis Shmyhal announced a record defense budget and plans for increased military production. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky revealed heavy losses among Russian and North Korean forces battling in Russia's Kursk region. In his nightly address, Zelensky described fierce battles along the 1,000-kilometer front line, with the most intense fighting near Pokrovsk. Western and Ukrainian reports estimate 11,000 North Korean troops are stationed in Kursk. Zelensky highlighted clashes near the village of Makhnovka, close to Ukraine's border.
The commander-in-chief also reported on the situation in the Kursk region, especially in battles yesterday and today near just one village, Magnivka, in the Kursk region. The Russian army lost up to a battalion of North Korean infantry, soldiers and Russian paratroopers. This is significant.
Relatives of hostages held by Hamas protested in Tel Aviv on Saturday, rejecting a partial ceasefire deal and demanded a comprehensive agreement that would secure the release of all hostages. The protest was attended by former Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, who resigned from parliament earlier this week. The protests came as Hamas released a new video showing a female hostage alive in an attempt to urge Israel into doing more to secure the hostages' release.
I think that getting back the hostages is probably one of the most important missions of the government of Israel. I'm fully aware for all the other goals and achievements in different areas of our security campaign, but this is probably the most important one, getting them back home. And I hope the Prime Minister Netanyahu will do what he has to do, getting them back home.
Relatives of the hostages Nama Weinberg and Zahiro Shaharmor expressed their desire to end 456 days of captivity with comprehensive deal to bring all their loved ones home.
Like every Saturday evening, we come to the rally to call for our loved ones who are still in captivity. My father, Gadi Moses, is still there 456 days. We got the movie for Lily Elbag, and as much as I'm happy for the family to see her alive, it's very concerning to see her status and not knowing about all the others. So we really hope that the delegation that went to the conversation will get to some agreement and we'll see all our loved ones as soon as possible. And no one will put more obstacles to fail the negotiations, and we'll get to agreement.
Former U.S. President Jimmy Carter's state funeral began on Saturday with solemn ceremonies in his home state of Georgia, marking the start of 6 days of tributes to the late leader who passed away on December 29 at the age 100. Motorcade with mortal remains of Carter arrived at Georgia's state capital, where dignitaries welcomed his family. The casket was then taken to the Carter Presidential Library, received by a military honor guard. Emotional tributes from his son James Chip Carter and grandson Jason Carter reflected on his life and enduring spirit. The mortal remains of the former president will be taken to Washington, D.C. on Tuesday. Following Tuesday's service in Washington, Carter will be laid to rest in a private ceremony in Plains, Georgia.
He was an amazing man. And he was held up and propped up and soothed by an amazing woman. And the two of them together changed the world. And it was an amazing thing to watch from so close and to be able to be involved in. And I thank you for your service.
It was important for all of us that we stop here. These buildings, as you all know, are filled with his life, not just because this is a museum to his life, and not just because there's a collection here of his beloved paintings, but his spirit fills this place.
Moving on, U.S. President Joe Biden has awarded 19 individuals with the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the country's highest civilian honor. Prominent awardees include diplomat Hillary Clinton, singer and activist Bono, basketball legend Irvin Magic Johnson, actors Michael J. Fox and Denzel Washington, among others. The award was presented at a White House ceremony on Saturday. The Presidential Medal of Freedom recognizes individual contributions to national security, world peace, culture and other significant societal, public or private endeavors. The last contingent of security forces from Guatemala, comprising 75 military police members, has arrived in Haiti to reinforce the ongoing multinational security support mission. The deployment is part of Guatemalan President Bernardo Arevalo's pledge to send 150 military police made in September last year. The mission, led by Kenya, has seen deployments from several countries, including 400 police from Kenya, 24 personnel from Jamaica and 2 senior officers from Belize, with El Salvador sending 8 soldiers for medical evacuation operations. Despite these efforts, the mission has struggled to prevent gangs from taking new territories and committing massacres, causing thousands of people to flee their home due to escalating violence. Haiti's national police have meanwhile lost thousands of officers in recent years. Let's take a look at other stories making news around the world. Former Greek Prime Minister Kostas Simitis died on Sunday at the age of 88 in the Peloponnese region of southern Greece. The government announced 4 days of mourning for Simitis. A bluefin tuna weighing approx 276 kilograms was sold for $1,316,835 at Tokyo's Toyosu Fish Market's annual auction. This also marks the second highest bid at the fish market since its inception in 1999. Hundreds of people took part in parade for the Blacks and Whites Carnival in Pasto, Colombia, celebrating the ethnic diversity in region. In 2009, the carnival was also proclaimed by UNESCO as intangible cultural heritage. And still to come on DD Indian NewsHour. Nagal advances to main round of ASB Classic Tournament in Auckland. Premier League table toppers Liverpool to take on Manchester United on Sunday.
Geopolitics and trade deals. Economic challenges amid development. Hard work and the path to prosperity. It's the economy always. Between walkers, money is what money does and says. Supply creates its own demand. Between the bulls pulls and bears tears. When supply chains globalization and India rises to the podium. We'll get you centered with the economic brief at 8 p.m. every Thursday on DD India.
You're watching DD India NewsHour. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj, and time now for sport. And big heartbreak for India as they've lost the Border Gavaskar Trophy after a decade with 6-wicket loss to Australia on a third day of the 5th and final test in Sydney. Australia chased down 162 runs with Travis Head and Bo Webster taking the team home. India lost the 5-match series 1-3, resuming day 3 at 141 for a 6. India lost their remaining 4 wickets for 16 runs to be all out for 157 in their second innings. Pat Cummins and Scott Boland shared the wickets in session, with Boland completing a 6-wicket haul and winning the player of the match. Meanwhile, Jasprit Bumrah becomes the player of the series with 32 wickets in 5 matches. With the win, Australia have also qualified for the World Test Championship final against South Africa. All right, and DD India correspondent Naran Singh joins us live on this for more. Naran, seriously a heartbreak for all the cricket fans in India. You know, they were really expecting that after losing 2 encounters, this one they will win and the BGT will be end in a draw, and the trophy perhaps would be home. But nothing that sort of happened. How do you analyze this encounter? At one point it was looking like that India can take it towards a draw, but what went wrong?
Siddharth, if you take a look at that, India lost the series, but one thing that came out of this series is that Test cricket is the best. The way things panned out right from the first test in the Perth, we saw India just dismissed for 150, then again they bounced back with the fantastic spell from Bumrah, dismissing the Australian team for 104 4, and they won the first test match. And after that, we saw the way things happen in the ping ball test that was played in Adelaide, where Australia bounced back and won that match, and third test in Gaba that was ended in the draw, but the last 2 matches which were decided that Australia winning this BGT, and after a long time, after a decade, they won this trophy. So multiple reasons for that India couldn't do well, especially their veteran batsmen Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma not able to score runs, and Virat Kohli started it in a fantastic note, scoring 100 in the Perth, but he could not capitalize that thing, could not build on that inning in the upcoming matches, and the over-reliant on the Jasprit Bumrah. We saw the way Jasprit Bumrah single-handedly, it was one point of time, it was looking like that it was Bumrah versus Australia, and in the last test too, where we saw that the way things happen, India was there in the match. India had its moment throughout the 4th test match and the 5th test match in Sydney too. But when Bumrah got injured, we saw that it was looking like a big gulf was there between the Indian team and the Australian team. And without Bumrah, it was, we can say, the Herculean task for the India to defend 160 runs.
Indeed, Naran, and there was also some dressing room controversy, making news that Gautam Gambhir, the head coach of Team India, gave an earful to the entire team in the dressing room, which somehow the news got out. What was that? He also explained, something related to it during the presser. What was the entire episode?
We can say that in the multiple TV channels and newspaper, we saw the reports that there is a rift in the team, and Gautam Gambhir, the head coach of the Indian team, gave a brutal assessment to the players in the dressing room. Also, there were news came that there is a senior player who wants to be interim captain of the team during these chaotic situation after India lost the Sydney test match in Melbourne. But things, we can say that after that he came out for the presser, and where he clarified the things that everything is well within the dressing room, teams are united, and also reports came regarding the Rohit Sharma, that he has been dropped for the final test match in the Sydney, but media, we can say the private media, especially the way they handled the situation, the way things happened, and multiple reports also came regarding the retirement of the Rohit Sharma. So it could be handled in a better way also. It could be taken as an example in the Indian Test cricket, especially that the captain of the team opting to sit out, and Rohit Sharma himself during the Sydney Test match said that the people with the mic, pen and the laptop will not decide when the cricketers will retire. They know when to retire, how much cricket is left within them. So these things happened, but all in all, we can say that the series was absorbing the whole series. India had their moments. They did multiple good things, but few less good things hampered their cause here in this Border Gavaskar Trophy.
But one thing is very true, Naran, that winning and losing is part and parcel of the game, but what matters is your performance and the efforts that you put in on that very day. But we leave it there. Thank you so much. Team Gonasika secured their first win of the Hockey India League 2024-25 with 3-1 victory over Hyderabad Tufans on Saturday. SV Sunil and Mandeep Singh had been a lethal attacking pair in the 2010s, with the duo combining to secure many important goals for India. They did once again to give Gonasika to lead in the second minute. The Tufans had their fair share of chances to score, but were unable to find the killer touch as Gonasika ended the quarter with the lead intact. Team Gonasika climbed to third place with win and will now face Tamil Nadu Dragons on next Wednesday. In tennis, India's Sumit Nakal has advanced to the main round of the ASB Classic tournament in Auckland, and he defeated the top seed Adrian Manarino of France 7-6, 6-3 in the final qualifying round. Earlier, Nagal defeated Alexander Klincharov of New Zealand 1-6, 6-3, 6-1 in the qualifiers on Saturday. The men's doubles, India's Yuki Bhambri and his companion Albano Olivetti of France will take on the pair of Sander Arnaz and Sander and Luke in the pre-quarterfinal on Monday. Manchester United take on Arne Slot's Liverpool side in an important Premier League encounter at Anfield on Sunday. The two teams have experienced contrasting fortunes this season and will want to win this game. Liverpool are currently at the top of the Premier League standings and have been in excellent form so far this season. Arne Slot's team thrashed West Ham United by a comprehensive 5-0 margin last week and will be confident ahead of this fixture. Nothing is going right for Manchester United right now. The Red Devils have lost 4 matches in a row and capped off 2024 with a disastrous 0-2 defeat to Newcastle United at home. Roubaix men are now the first United team to lose 3 consecutive matches at Old Trafford in 46 years. Indian motorsport veteran Sanjay has made history by becoming the first Indian to participate in the Dakar Classic. The 2025 Dakar Rally began on January 3rd in Saudi Arabia, and the Pune-based racer has completed the first stage of this 14-day event. The first stage, covering 150 kilometers, tested competitors in challenging desert conditions. Itoale successfully finished the stage, gaining valuable experience. The Dakar Classic, running alongside the main Dakar Rally, is a tribute to vintage cars and provides a unique platform for experienced racers. The rally features 12 stages spread over 14 days, with the route crossing the empty quarter and concluding in Shubaita on 17th of January. That's all for this edition of DD India News Hour, but let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from India and across the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms, and you can scan the QR code on the screen to download now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Siddharth Bharadwaj from all of us here in Delhi. Thanks for watching DD India News Hour.